Hey guys, welcome back to part 3 of our beginner series tutorial. So in this tutorial, we are going to learn how to connect our application to Firebase and do authentication. So in our first part, we learned how to make our first application. In our second part, we learned how to design both login and register screen, as you can see here. So in this part, we are going to learn how to connect our application to Firebase and do the authentication. In part 4, we will learn how to design the dashboard screen so that when user logs in, he can see different items depending on what we want to display. So stay tuned so that you can get notified when I release part 4. So let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to do is to add Firebase to our application. So I'm going to go to Tools, Firebase, and then I'm going to go to Authentication. Then email and password connects to Firebase. So starting connect dialog, my first app connect. So connecting to Firebase. So let's wait for it to finish. So once we manage to connect, the next thing we are going to do is to add Firebase Authentication to our app, now to our application. So registering Android client, downloading Firebase configuration. Oops, we have an error here. Let's see. Cannot connect, Firebase failed. Please check your internet connection and try again. So let's see. I'm going to retry this one. Sync. Okay, let's add this one. It has already connected. I'm not sure how it's displaying this message. So processing, let's see. Refreshing. So the dependencies have been added, collecting. And the third thing is to check current auth state. So for me to do this is declared using Java, but I'm going to do it with Kotlin. So let's see. The first thing, let me learn our application and see what we have. Oops. So failed to have Google JSON. It's missing, so I'm going to go to my console. As you can see here, it's stated. So to use the authentication provider, you need to enable it in Firebase console. So I'm going to go to my console. I have only one project, so I'm expecting the other projects to appear here. It's here, so I'm going to go settings, project settings. Then I'm going to download JSON, Google JSON. So I had another one, so let me remove both of them so that I can download afresh. So once I download this one, I'm going to copy it and paste it in my app folder. And then run my project once again. So the application is learning, so let's see. Successful. So the application is installing. Let's see. Launching application, and there we are. We have login. And when you click register, we have the register screen. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to enable password and email authentication. So I'm going to go to authentication under my console. And then I'm going to go to sign up method, email, password. I'm going to enable this one, save it. Then back to my application. The next thing that I'm going to do is declare an instance of Firebase Authentication. So Firebase have a good documentation on how to declare this one. So what we're going to do is just to have the Firebase Authentication. So I'm going to have this one on my registration screen. And then I'm going to have the auth. I'm going to initialize this one is equals to Firebase auth dot get instance. And the other thing that I'm going to do is, because I'm registering a user using email and password, I'm going to remove this username. So I'm going to remove this one. And then I'm going to position this one center. So I'm going to have top of parent, and bottom of parent. Then I'm going to copy this one and paste it here. Then in my registration activity, I'm going to remove the edit text username. Let's run again our application and see the update. So we are expecting the username field to be removed. So the application is launching. Oops. Let's see. Restoring. Launching the application. There we go. Register. We have owned email, password, and confirm password. So I'm going to do now the registration. But the first thing that I'm going to do is override on start. It's here. And I'm going to have to check if auth the user is already logged in. So I'm going to have auth is equals to, or let me say val user is equals to auth dot current user. So if user dot not equal to null, meaning the user is already logged in, I'm going to redirect the user to dashboard. So here I'm going to create dashboard activity. So empty activity. Then I'm going to name this one dashboard. So if the user is logged in, I'm going to direct dashboard. So I'll have val intent, then I'm moving from this activity to dashboard activity. Then I'm passing, I won't pass any data, so I'm going to have start activity, and I'm going to start activity intent. So let's run activity again and see. Else, even I can log a message, log.e. User status. Then I'm going to say user null. So the application is installing, it's launching. Let's run again so that we can effect the change that I've done. Launching activity. There we go. register, let's see. So user is null. So I'm going to register user. So I will have this method of user registration. So I'll have fun register user. And within this method, I'm going to have my auth dot create user with email and password. So I'm going to pass email and I'm going to pass password. So my email is edit email dot text dot trim dot to string, and my password is edit password dot text dot trim dot to string. Then I'm going to add on complete listener this, and I'm going to have task if task dot is successful, else I'm going to show a message. So if task is successful, I will toast a message dot make text this, and I'm going to show a message that register successful toast dot length long dot show. Else I'm going to do the same and say register failed plus a message here that is task dot execution. So let's learn and see what we have. Oh, I didn't call this on, so I need to call it here. Need to remove this. So once we have our email and password provided, we are going to register the user. So let's see. I'm going to learn so that we can effect that change. So register. So I'm going to have my email, that is learntech20@gmail.com, and password I'm going to have pass at 12 pass at 12, and confirm password I'm going to have pass at 12. So let's register. Oops, we need internet permission. Let me add users permission. I'm going to have internet. Let's learn again. Oops. So installing the application. Here we are, register. What's happening? Let me close these ones. So I'm going to learn again. Register, then I'm going to, something is happening here. So let's go to my main activity and see what is happening. So Firebase Authentication, Firebase.get instance. When you click the button, register user. So let's say on start. Okay, so let me first comment this one, learn again. It seems already the user was registered, which was not my intention. Register user, so I'm going to have lantech20@gmail.com, and here I'm going to have pass812. Firebase consider password to be 6 characters, so I'm going to have pass812. Let's see. Registration failed. Here we have the email had already been registered, so I'm going to use lantech@gmail.com. Registration successful. Let's go to our console and check how many users we have. So we have lantech@gmail.com and we have lantech20@gmail.com. So we are going to try and log in. Now I can be able to activate this one. Let's see, login, it's here. So I'm going to have the same thing. Then I'm going to authenticate to instantiate this one is equals to Firebase auth dot get instance. And then here I'm going to have on start activity. And I'm going to check if the user had already logged into the application. So if val user is equals to auth dot current user not equal to null, I'm going to start activity, that is val intent is equals to intent. And I'm going to have this and dashboard activity dot start activity intent, else I'm going to toast and make text. The activity is this, and the message is user first time login. Toast dot make length long dot show. So within my dashboard activity, I'm going to display only one text. So I'm going to have text view, lab content, start of parent, end of parent, and bottom of parent. The text that I'm going to display is dashboard activity. One thing is top of parent. So let's learn our application again and see what we have. Dashboard activity here. So the application is launching. The first time the application launches. I'm not sure why it's crossing, but let's learn again. Yours might not behave as this. Launching, so there we go, dashboard activity, meaning the user had already been logged in. So that I can be able to demonstrate the login, I'm going to comment this one and have my function. So I'm going to have fun sign in user, and I'm going to have auth dot sign in user with email and password. So I'm going to have id username dot text dot to string, and I'm going to have my password. So this one should be to text. And for password, I'm going to have id password dot text dot string dot to string. I'm going to add on complete listener. I'm going to have task, and if task dot is successful, and else here. So if not successful, I'm going to toast a message dot make text. This authentication error, and display the message. Exemption, then on success, I'm going to have val intent, and I'm going to have intent dot and I'm going to start activity dashboard. So I'm going to sign in user once I do the validation here. So I'm going to remove this one. So let's learn. As I remove this one and paste that one. So the application is installing. Let's wait for it to launch. So there, if I say lantech22@gmail.com, remember we don't have that one. And then I say I want to provide a fake password. Let's see, input provide. Let's remove that one, input provided. Okay, let's learn again. That's the message that's showing I hadn't added this one. So let's see. So I have lantech22@gmail.com. I have pass at 123. So Firebase exemption, this user have been deleted. So I'm going to log in with the right credential, that is lantech20 pass at 12, and there we go to the dashboard activity. So that's all, guys. So we have been able to connect our application to the Firebase. We have been able to authenticate user, that is to register, and even to log in. So you can be able to check the registered users on the Firebase console by just going to your project and users. So thank you for watching. If you are not subscribed, remember to subscribe for more tutorials.